So here we are back with the live action. There's been a bit of a break. We've been away for around about an hour, but here we are with round two on the winner's side. We had Gav Robinson on commentary earlier, and I did mention that this could well be one of the stream games because it features none other than Jayson Shaw. You see him on the left-hand side, and what a great attacking game this should be. I'm joined in commentary by Gabe O'Malley. How you doing, Gabe?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just about recovered from this morning.
So you played at 10 o'clock this morning, and you played Matt Brearley.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I never got a look in.
No.
Yeah, I did actually. I just missed too many chances.
You were quite a late entrant into this, if I remember, weren't you?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think when there was about 6 left.
Yeah.
I think I just saw Gareth Potts and that do the draw, and I just thought I'd give it a smash like.
Get your name in.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what about this game? You looking forward to this one?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be quite an open game, I think.
Yeah. So Gav wins the lag. Jayson Shaw, obviously a very recognisable figure for anyone who's a Q Sports fan. He's had a prolific career to date. He's ex-black ball world champion at 8 ball, and he's moved over into the American game, and he's pretty much taken it by storm. He's just been tearing it up, winning everything over the last 18 months or so. He's 29 years old. He comes from Scotland. He's married to Ara Shaw, and they've got one 3-year-old child, one girl, and another one on the way. He uses a Tyrone Q's Q, and it's a 8.5mm Kamui tip. And we'll talk about his achievements, etc., in just a little while. His opponent, Gav Robinson, Gavalanche, as he is nicknamed, age 30. He's got 2 girls, Natalie and Annalise. He doesn't know who made his cue, but he uses a blue diamond tip with 8.2mm. So, as we said, it's a real pleasure. I mean, I did see a little bit of Jayson play an event last year, but not too much. He's been away from this game for quite some time, and there were questions over, how he'd adapt back into the English game. But he beat Shane Thompson in the first round in a tight affair, and he's no easy win, is he?
No, you're absolutely right. Well, this morning he was sat around the table with Craig and Goobs, and he was actually asking about the rules and trying to brush up on the world rules. So he hasn't done too bad, really. I mean, Gav just had obviously a dry break there, left him a nice opportunity. There's a couple of awkward ones, but I expected him to get them, and he looks like he's just about perfect.
Yeah, he's already just stepped into it. As we said, this will be a very open attacking game. Gav Robinson is a very, very good player. He is a live wire, to say the least. You'll see him almost tearing around the table.
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of Gavin on the IPA, and he's like a nervous bundle of energy.
He is, yeah.
If his eyes and his brakes working, he's an awesome player. But if he's going to dry break like that, he might struggle a bit today.
A lot of people look at Gavin and think that it's all chemically enhanced, but it's not. He's just like that naturally.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
A real live wire.
I think he's underrated as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think he's a great player. Yeah, super. So if I recognise that this is probably the first game of the evening session, and I know that a lot of people will be joining us, so a little bit of background of where we are and what we're doing. So we're Beard Productions, and we've decamped to Newcastle under Lyme. We're at the Players Pool and Snooker Lounge. It's Lee Kendall's club, and it's Lee Kendall's event. He's organised this, put in hours of effort to bring you the Supreme Pool Series. It's a series of 5 events. The first 2 events played to world rules. This is a race to 11. The next 2 events will be played to black ball, and the last event is a new hybrid set of rules, which we'll talk about more in later series. when I become a bit more adept at, because I haven't really looked at them too closely myself. So that's where we are, and we focus our attention back on this game, and it's Jayson's turn.
I think the only part he's got on there is the red, but he'd obviously prefer yellows if he had an open chance.
Yeah, yellows are very much there, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the red's not too bad. It's just the... Oh, dear.
Yeah, he's missed that first one. And, yeah, he's left Jayson in with a great chance here. And I think he can... this is a pretty good layout, actually. There's a lot of traffic in the way, but it's a fairly natural path. He's actually going reds.
Yeah,
which
I
is,
wonder if he's going to try and get to the left-hand side.
Yeah. So, bit of a surprise, but he's played a great shot there. That's great. That's why he's gone reds.
That's what I'd have done.
Yeah, that's certainly opened up the table. Looked like it was the pattern on yellow seemed to be pretty good, but there you go. Jayson knows his stuff. Just probably slightly out of position. He's going to have to go to plan B now. I think he would have liked to have stayed at the top of the table, work his way down through the balls. But he's probably going to have to just adjust that game plan now. But no real danger. He's got options available now.
Any idea if it went a bit tactical, who would win that battle? Because I don't think any of them are really into the world rules, are they, that much? I think they're relying on open play.
Yeah, very much so. I don't see any game going tactical here. I just don't. I mean, no one's gonna try and turn it tactical. No. Gavin's now plonked himself in Jayson's seat, which is interesting. It's a nice shot, well controlled. And it's just a question of pace now. Should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, I'll wager that none of these frames are going to go tactical. I don't think either player would particularly know what to do. Gav said that he was having to ask about the rules earlier because it's. I think he played one season of World Rules and he's forgotten all about them.
Got to be a bit careful here going up and down with that yellow there in the middle.
Would have dearly liked to get down the table and leave this red. Ideally, if he could have left it dead straight, but he's going to have to
swing around it. You think with a bit of left-hand side possible? Oh no, it looks like he's in the centre of the ball.
Oh, he's played at the bottom corner and lost the white in the middle. So
it should be one hole here, obviously.
Maybe just showing a little bit of rustiness of the table. Made the pot, but the white ball didn't react as he expected it to. Of course, he'll be used to playing on the American diamond tables, the Rassen tables, where the middle bags are cut really severely, so you don't. You can flirt with the middle bags a lot more.
I know Jayson was on stream earlier. I'd never really seen any of it. Did you get to see any of it at all?
No. I haven't had a chance to talk to Shane Thompson about it either. So
I heard Jayson talking to, I think it was Scott Gillespie again, and he was happy the way he played. I think he said he missed an early black early on, but from then on he sort of kicked on and he was pretty pleased with his performance. So bad news for everybody else, Pete, maybe.
Yeah. Oh.
I was looking at that shot from the side actually on the real table, and it didn't look like he was comfortable on it.
So he's got the saviour of a second visit. He should be absolutely fine, but just adds a tiny bit of pressure.
Did you commentate on the Carl Donahue game then?
Yes.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, great game. We've seen some fabulous games actually. While you were in action this morning, and the Clint Irons and Darren Appleton game was.
I caught the end of that because my game was over quite quickly, and say no more about that.
Yeah.
And obviously that was a deciding frame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Carl coming back from 10-2 down. Couldn't believe it.
So this simple black from Gavin. Yeah, there's been a couple of wide margins today. Both the Carl Donahue match, when you think that all the momentum's swinging with him, but I guess he had all the pressure was off of him, and then it gets back to 10-1. Of course, the pressure's back on you then, isn't it? Because there's this expectation, but you've got all the momentum as well. And well, he lost that one, and the other game was the Jamie Graham game. He was 9-3 down, got that back to 10-all, and then lost the decider as well. So the momentum swing's not carrying through to that final frame. A quick look around the arena, a little virtual tour of the rest of the tables. Max Nosko is playing Simon Fitzsimmons. He's currently 1-0 up. Max has been flying today. Jeremy Hooper back in action against Declan Brennan. Just starting out, 0-0. Adam Davis is playing Phil Malam, again just starting. Cole Bedford, 1 each against Ian Duffy. Phil Naylor is playing Lewis Calcutt, and he's trailing 3 frames to 2. David McNamara is 6-1 up against Matt Brearley. Adam Marlowe 3-1 up against Alex Bailey. Ben Davis beating Rich Wharton 5 frames to 3. Neil Wren, I think he was 6-2 up in that. He's now 6-4. So Liam Pedley making a bit of a comeback. Ronan McCarthy's in action against, I think, fellow countryman. I think I'm right in thinking Dylan Leary comes from over there. Anyways, Ronan's 4-2 up. Josh Kane, Brian Holcrow, 5 apiece. Jack Whelan against Mark Boyle. Things just not going Mark Boyle's way at the moment. He's 10-8 down. And there's a game that's, well, a couple of games that have been going on for a long time. Zach Shepherd against Jordan Templeton, 7 each. And Jez Graham is trailing Callum Singleton, 9 frames to 8. And if you want to look at any of those scores, just head across to qscore.com, where you can get live updates and have a look at the draw and also all the games that have happened so far. That wasn't the plan from Gav. Didn't want to put them both. He's in a bit of trouble now. He's going to have to pull out a really good pot. The good thing for him, it's that doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. It's fairly natural. You can just drop this in, and the white's just going to track naturally across that side rail. But no. Another chance for Jayson Shaw.
Just shows how funny pool is, really. I obviously played Matt Brearley this morning. He beat me very convincingly. David McNamara was playing a good friend of mine, Colin Finn, and that's who I've got tomorrow morning in the losers section. And Colin really should have beat him. He lost 11-10. So David McNamara just squeezed past Cole, who looked like he was winning that last frame. And Matt Brearley stormed through me, and now he's losing 6-1.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing what a few hours can do. So a bit more about the players. Jayson Shaw, as we said, 29 years old. His achievements in pool, he's a 2010 World Black Ball champion. If I remember rightly, he played that one over in France, and I think he beat Seb Ramier in the final. I think I remember watching that on YouTube. Derby City Classic 10-ball champion, the 5 times Turning Stone champion, ESPN Challenge of Champions winner, 2 times Moscone Cup winner. Of course, famously, some great images on YouTube of Jayson in his pomp winning the Moscone. And he started playing pool when he was 5 years old, as his dad was a professional, his dad, Charlie Shaw. And who's been your greatest influence? It's also his dad, who's helped him go everywhere. And when he was younger, because his dad was a professional, he learnt a great deal from him. Interesting, you wonder what expectations players like Jayson Shaw, Chris Melling, Darren Appleton come here with. Obviously, you know, competitive players, but having been away for so long, it makes you wonder what their expectations are.
I think they like to play it down a bit.
Yeah.
You know, they're obviously it's all about opinions, and it's 50-50 with that one. I've heard people say they're going to go on and get to the deep end of the competition, and others say they've got no chance because they're too used to the 9-ball.
Yeah, yeah.
They're curious, and they've got a good pedigree in 8-ball anyway. So you get a bit rusty, but they've all been practicing recently, so I think they're ready for it.
And interestingly, Chris Melling in his interview earlier on, he did actually say that he played way better than he expected in that first game. He played Seb Webb and beat Seb 11-5, and he did really play well. And he outdid his own personal expectations. So
I think with Chris though, he does a lot of exhibitions, doesn't he? So he does sort of keep his eye in.
Always got his eye in, yeah.
And I think he can just pick a cue up and go to any of the disciplines and wipe the table clean. So just one of them annoying naturals, I think.
So Gav Robinson only been playing pool for 5 years and 3 years at the top level. He won the Super 7 National Championships in 2017 for Teesside, beating Nottingham in a black ball shootout in the final, and winning the black ball shootout 10-9 to reach the final. He used to play snooker. He was a half-decent snooker player. Beat Jimmy White in a one-frame match, is a claim to fame, back in Hartlepool at the age of 14. Jimmy knocked in a 65 and went in off, and Gav stepped in and won the frame. Pretty good for a 14-year-old. And then he stopped playing at 16 and didn't pick up a cue then for 8 years, until his father bought a local pub and asked him to play pool. And again, a big influence. We heard from his dad Brian on the commentary earlier, just briefly. And you can tell his dad really supports him. His dad played pool to a fairly high level, and he says his father inspired him to play snooker from around 7 years old. Favourite player is Jimmy White. He just loves his attacking play. When asked about his anticipations of the Supreme Pool Series, and he said because he's a beginner in terms of a lot of in relation to a lot of the other players, and also the caliber of the players in this event, he's not going into any of these events with a big expectation, but he's not here to make up the numbers. He's here to compete. He's I mean, you can tell he's a player because his practice partner is Mark Farnsworth. So anyone can hold their own against Mark, then one of the best around. Played a nice shot there.
Yeah, he should get these.
Yeah, good opportunity now. So he just wants to ideally finish just about, pop this in the middle and finish just about dead straight on the one to the left of the black.
To run up for the back cushion.
Yeah, to run up for the one on the top cush. Just taking his time, using his time extension. It's unlike Gavin to take too long over any shot, so just making sure he's getting things right in his mind.
I think it was a good idea introducing the shot clock for the arena table with the rules set, because a couple of people a few people might have been a bit concerned it could have, hampered the viewing a little bit, but it's kept it attacking, from what I've seen.
So he's going to stun across. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. He needed to stun across for that yellow into the middle, so he could drop up onto the one on the bulk line. I personally preferred the other way. I think playing that ball up into the top corner, running through onto the one on the bulk, then it just opens up the angle to drop the cue ball into the space and play that yellow in the middle. But
there's a lot of space there, wasn't there? A good 18 inches where he could have left the white and had an easy shot to the middle.
Okay, so he's done one job there. He's hampered the black into that top left pocket.
Hampered unless he gets onto the red on the left cushion is his last ball, then it.
Yeah, and then it's
nice and
he's got it in the opposite.
Don't think he's left enough for that.
I wonder if he can see enough to play it off the yellow. Don't think he can. Oh, he tried. Got them moving. That's opened the black up as well. So a decent opportunity for Jayson. A couple of balls that are awkward on the left-hand rail. But he can start picking those off now. He'll want to take those as his next two balls, ideally. Personally, I like the red closest this side, just to only because he can drop that in and then drop the one he's just played back up and leave himself on these two in the middle. Now he can't quite so easy to play the one down the rail, so he's going to have to take these two out in the middle and then come back to that one. I just think, well, he was on it. He could have played it. And now he's got to get back on it.
Yeah, he don't really want to leave it his last ball, does he? Just get it out.
No.
Yeah, he's not going to leave his last ball.
Well, he must be confident that he can cue it and get back up for the black. I would have much preferred to see him take this earlier in the frame. But he's on it. And he's on it pretty nicely. He can.
He might just leave the white not far from where the red is now.
Yeah, I don't think he'll try and no heroics of screwing it at the table. Oh, he did indeed. Wow. Well, that was a great shot. You almost feel that he didn't need to, but I guess he could, so he did.
Absolutely.
He obviously didn't feel that he was going to compromise the pot in any way. So another quick look around the room. Max Nosko and Simon Fitzsimmons, 2 apiece. Jeremy Hooper is 2-0 down to Declan Brennan. Adam Davis and Phil Milan, one frame apiece. Cole Bedford, Ian Duffy. Cole Bedford is 3-2 ahead. Phil Naylor trails Lewis Calcott 5 frames to 2.
Jack Wheeler must have won his game. He's not on there anymore.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at that in a second. The Jordan Templeton Zach Shepherd game. Still 8 frames to 7. That game feels like it's been going on for a long time. Jack Whelan won 11 frames to 8, beating Mark Boyle. So Mark Boyle Someone's going to have a little present when they get into the loser's side, having to play Mark Boyle. Gareth Hibbert got through his match unscathed, 11 frames to 7 against Abdel Karim Barada. Jez Graham lost to Callum Singleton. Jez will be disappointed. I think he went out, I think he was leading. Pretty sure he was 4-2 up. But good comeback from Callum. Lee Washbrook, he won 11-4. Managed to pick him in the bonus ball, so not disappointed to see Lee go through.
A good result by Alf and Dad.
Yeah, great result. That went hill against Dan Davey. Sanjay Patel through. Sam Bircher through. Mark Farnsworth through. 11-6 against Mark Fleming. That game was nip and tuck for quite a while, but as Mark Farnsworth does, shows his class. For some reason, it says in the Mike King game that he was 3-0 up, but actually his opponent didn't turn up. I think he was one of the Moroccan players who couldn't make the trip. Jordan Church, Lee Clough, that went hill. Jordan Church was 10 frames to 8 behind, and he wins that against Lee Clough 11-10. So again, somebody's got the great prospect of Lee Clough on the loser's side.
There's a lot of great players on that loser's side, isn't
Yeah, there is, for sure. Toby Bolt played a real grinding game against Mandeep Jinger, and he came through at 11 frames to 7.
He'll be on a bit of a high from last week.
Yes.
Qualified.
Yeah. Beat Ben Davis, didn't he?
Yeah.
What a great win. So, tricky little plant here. It should, if he makes it, it should come out, because the red's just going to go to rail and pop back out again. So that was kind of natural, so he could just focus on the pot. Jayson Shaw showing that he is by no means here to make up the numbers. Who'd bet against this guy now? Showing his class. He's 4 frames to 1 up against Gavin Robinson.
So Jayson Shaw to break. He'd be open for a nice break to go 5-1 up. With his 9-ball experience, he has got a very big, powerful break. As all 9-ball players do, they check their rack, see if they make sure there's all touching.
Force of habit. He knows they're all touching. Right smile. Watching eagerly on just from the left-hand side is Jason Owen. He's sat next to Shane Thompson. And in fact, he's sat between Jack Whelan and Shane Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. I think he supplies them both with cues. I might be mistaken with Jack, but I think he does.
He does with Jack, yeah.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Certainly does with Shane Thompson. So, yeah, Jason, the main sponsor for this event, it is indeed called the Jayson Owen Open. And just a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. You'll see them around the arena. To our main sponsor, Supreme, to Aramis and Strachan. and also to k8.com and Home Leisure Direct. And also to the man who's supplying the rack that you're about to see used by the referee, Shane Conroy, with the Shark Supreme rack.
Have you had many reviews back from the Shark rack?
I've seen reviews. He has got his own page. I think it's called something like I'm using the Shark rack, and it's got, from everyone who's bought one, it's got really positive reviews. You see some negative vibe about it, and it's almost categorically from people that have never tried it. It's quite strange, and also on the players event, because he redeveloped it. This is version 2 of the rack. He redeveloped it with some improvements, less surface area, and slightly more defined locators for the balls. And it's available. It's available on his website, and also through eBay. And the feedback generally through the players page from people who have bought it, they've said they love it.
Yeah,
they're having a good time.
The first time I used it was today.
Yeah.
I struggled at first setting the balls up because I'm used to the triangle.
Yeah.
So it was actually remembering because you had to do one at a time.
Of course,
I was trying to remember what order there was in. But
once you get used to it, it kind of gets quicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Matt Braley, he basically set them up himself to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Then put the triangle on, and then just moved them towards it, which I started doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I thought for 1 minute it was going to go into the shot clock because I was going to.
So you set them up in the triangle and then actually move them on top of the rack. Yeah, I've seen a video of someone doing that. So here we see the odd occasion where the referee does have to mark a ball because the ball is sitting on. It doesn't take too long.
Yeah, the first time the referee did that for us today, he just nudged the black.
Did he?
Yeah, in the second frame, I think, and then obviously it played my head all game then, and I lost.
And they're yeah, that's it, yeah. And they're still getting used to it as well, aren't they? So
I would probably just leave it on just for 1 or 2 shots, but obviously.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we've kind of argued this a little bit on commentary today as well. There's an argument that says, actually, for the player, and in fact, we were having a conversation with Gav. It gives you an extra few seconds without the clock ticking to work out your pattern, and also, then you can go on and you can make your break. You can execute your clearance.
Yeah.
Whereas if you leave it on, then you've got that kind of break where it's a bit of a break in concentration, and which is all fine if you've got a tricky shot that you're trying to work out. It gives you that extra time. But yeah, I quite like getting it off the table early. It's very rare that you have to see 2 balls marked. It's a bit more of a test for the ref, but you know, I mean, for the amount of times that you actually have to do that, it's I think it's a minor trade-off.
Yeah.
The table, the Supreme table, just looks stunning. Supreme, as I said, the main sponsor for this event. It's the Supreme Pool Series. It's the rack is also named after the series. The rules in the last event are named after the series. Very much a Supreme influence. And the table just does look wonderful. The arena looks amazing.
Yeah, they've done a great job of that. It's been very busy today as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For the first day.
Yeah. I expect it to be busier tomorrow.
Are the other players allowed to ask the referee if they're a bit unsure about a rule? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't swear to that, but I'm fairly sure that they.
Because I can't hear the players, but I think he might have asked if he could play the yellow onto the red there.
Yeah.
Without nominating him.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin's going to need to wrap 1 or 2 frames up here soon.
Yeah, it's getting away from him, isn't it? He's really not hit his stride in this match. Bit of a frown. He is the kind of player that certainly can reel off 2 or 3 frames, get himself back into the game. So I would ask, guys, if you could do us the favour of sharing the stream. We'll be watching through YouTube, so you can should be able to share that. Just increases the exposure. And if you haven't done so previously, please do pay a visit to the Players Pool Events Facebook page. Give it a like. You'll get all the updates. The bookies' prices are on there. The bookie being Jed Ronan. You'll see all of his prices. Prices up each round. And also, while you're on Facebook, give us a like. Beard Productions. Be good to have you on board. That's a super shot.
Yeah.
Really controlled that well. Confidence in his cue ball there. And look at the length he's leaving on this cue. No problem at all.
A lot of checks out there just to kill the ball.
Would have preferred to have missed that yellow, but this shouldn't call it. It makes it just marginally harder, but one you definitely expect him to get. There you go, 6 frames to 1. I wouldn't have called this scoreline. I would have made it just a bit closer.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Gavin just not really been in it.
I did fancy Jayson before it starts to edge it and go on to win the match, but I did think it would be a lot closer than it is at the moment. But
Well, of course, you've always got the consideration that, you know, this arena, this is quite intimidating now, isn't it? You look around, there is quite a crowd of players, and it's a who's who.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite a
yeah,
you know,
usually.
there's a lot of critical eyes watching on. Gareth Potts is just sat in front of us. He's watching. There's a lot of the players who aren't playing now, but playing in the later sessions. They're milling and watching. So it's quite an intimidating environment. It's you know, Jayson will be used to this. He's played all across America. He's played in China. He's played in mainstream TV. He's played in the Moscone Cup. Doesn't get any more intimidating than that, especially playing a Moscone Cup in the USA in front of a partisan American crowd.
Yeah, this is where Jayson and Chris and Daz Appleton the favour can sway towards their corner if they are on the arena table a bit more.
You know, I was really surprised when Darren came off of his match with Clint. He said that, you know, he
said he was nervous, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he was really quite nervous, and that surprised me a little bit because, you know, you think of the environments that he's been in before.
It's
a
a
pressure cooker.
Different type of pressure, though, isn't it?
It is. There's an expectation.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's a guy that is one of the best that this country has ever produced, and he's coming back after a long break. And there's an expectation. Jack Whelan joins Gareth Potts having a chat.
It was a great result by Jack against Mark Boyle.
Really, really was. You know, they'll be old.
Makes my loser section even easier.
they'll be old foe, won't they? They'll have met a good number of times on the IPA tour since Mark's come back onto the tour.
Tried to get out with that shot, but I think he might have left himself a little bit of an angle. Or at least maybe use the right-hand side of the bag to develop. He's played it quite well. It's
Yeah, I don't know if he can.
looking at his face.
If he can
he
quite
can't
get through.
see.
No, he can't see it. Gav is very expressive. He will.
He look like he's
Oh wow, maybe you can just turn it over slightly. Yeah, he needed to. You can just see the ball just bending slightly. Will it drop?
so unlucky.
No, it won't. So, Jayson comes to the table with nothing particularly easy. There's a couple of safety shots. He'll be looking to duck for cover, promoting one of his balls.
That's a nice little glance on
Yeah,
the
that's
black.
a great kiss. That wasn't going to be a snooker,
Yeah,
but for that. Don't forget, if you've got a smart TV, you can pick up YouTube on your smart TV. There is a YouTube app, and just search for Beard Productions, and you'll find all the 4 live tables. We're streaming 4 tables all through the weekend. Well, I say all the weekend. Obviously, when we get to semi-final and final, we won't be, but
Can I give a bit of a shout out to Scunny lads who's come over there?
you certainly can.
Well, there was 5 of us who've come today. Craig Wadd, obviously the most renowned of the lot of us.
Yep.
He lost to Neil Rayburn earlier. Got a bit of a share of him in the Calcutta, so I'm cheering him on for the in the loser's side. But the only one winner today out of the 5 of us was Jace Morris, and I can see he's currently 2-0 up against Michael Steele, so he's flying the flag at the moment. And
Yeah.
the other 4 of us will start again in the morning.
And Michael Still's the player who Jamie Graham. He was a 1 to 10
1 to
favourite,
10, yeah.
and it was 9-3 down.
Wow.
So, wow, what a shot! Did I just see that right? I just glanced away for a second, half missed that,
A bit of a cocked hat there.
yeah, and developed the black. So what happened? This,
He's just free
Well.
rolling now, and he's
yeah, I mean,
just expecting to get everything.
he's still got to clear them, but this is a ridiculous clearance. When he came to the table, he had very little chance. I mean, Gav had played a DF, pushing the black into a safe spot. He had a couple of balls tied up. Wow, he's making this game look easy. And am I mistaken in thinking he's still carrying a shot as well? Just looked away a second at the scores, and wow, he looks fantastic. Sublime pull from Jayson Shaw.
Gavin had a little shake of the head.
Yeah,
He's still shaking his head now, if he was able to see him.
yeah.
And a wry smile of Jayson as well. You can see in the right-hand corner there, Gavin's having a word. That's his dad, that's Brian Robinson. Probably Gavin's biggest fan, always with him at pool events. As he said earlier in his profile, a big influence on him. He got him back into the game, and hopefully he's given him a few words of encouragement. Could do with a big break here and 2 or 3 frames on the bounce to make a game of this. It's the last game of the evening, I believe, and it'd be a shame for it to be over so soon. So hopefully Gavin can reel a few frames in. Just one, if he opts for reds there, just the one bad ball on the left-hand side, the yellow just above it. But with the red just over the middle bag, it shouldn't cause him any problem to develop it.
And Gavin will know this is an absolute must-take frame. And you can see that he's just trying to speed up a little bit. He mentioned that earlier. He just try and get his arm moving.
Oh, God. I didn't.
Just slightly careless. He didn't need to get that side of the ball. Just any kind of full ball contact.
I know you meant to develop the ball as quickly as you can, but he had another shot there before.
Yes, yeah.
Could have done it with the one over the middle and been able to control it a bit better, but it had worked. Would have just said good shot, so he just didn't really take much care with that one.
Well, it's making life easy for Jayson Shaw at the moment.
On the stream, it looks like the yellow just below the black goes, but from my angle looking this way, it doesn't look like it does. So you might need to develop that first. Before it goes anywhere.
So across on table number 1. Sorry, table number 11. I apologise. It's Max Nosko against Simon Fitzsimmons. You can tune into that game. There are 4 games currently being streamed. I would again ask you if you're enjoying this, please do let your friends know that the game's happening. Do share it. Cut and paste a link into your Facebook page. However you need to do it, just let everyone know that the game's happening. It's not often you get to see Jayson Shaw, so I'm sure people would like to tune in.
It might be a little bit straight on the yellow. Is it?
Yeah, I think he is. What's he trying here? He's loading this up with side.
Again, he might be a bit straight on here, so whether he's going to leave himself a double, I'll come back 8 or 10 inches.
A tricky black, but the way he's playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against it.
No, he's nailing everything. Simple shot on a 9-ball table, and he makes it look a simple shot on an 8-ball table as well. This is some great stuff from Jayson Shaw. Who would have thought he would have brought this? I mentioned earlier on there's probably not so many people listening who are listening this morning, so I'll mention it again. I remember when someone was talking about the opening game, which was Shane Thompson against Jayson Shaw. People were saying, you know, Shane's form at the moment is just going to be too much for Jayson. Jayson coming back from the American game, and Shane Thompson wins all day long. And I remember Jayson Shaw commented on it, and he just said, "We'll see."
Was that 11-6, 11-7 earlier?
I think it was just a touch closer. I can look at the results. I think it might have been. The trouble is, 64 matches going on.
Yeah.
They kind of all pale into the next. Would have been one of the first 16, so it's 11-7. 11-7. I thought it was 11-8 for some reason, but yeah, convincing win against one of the informed players. You got to say,
Absolutely.
Shane doesn't lose too many games. Of course, I guess you would have, if you were Craig Waddingham, friend of Craig's, then you'd have probably seen that game recently.
I actually missed it, to be honest. I commentated on the night before. Max Nosko travelled down with Shane, and he played Martin Hazel. And Martin Hazel did win that game, and I commentated, and it was a great game. And I missed the main event the day after. But
I mean, this guy's not going to miss, is he? Can he miss? Is it? I mean, the thing is now he will not want to move that yellow by the black. That's his lifesaver, and he's finished pretty much dead straight on this yellow. So I don't know where he goes now.
I think if it was like 6-all or something, you probably would want to leave it there. But as it is now,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he can afford to do it.
that's
I think.
absolutely true. Yeah, he's 8-1 up, so he can afford to be a bit more expressive, experimental. Oh, I mean,
even that, he's got a recovery shot there.
he's got, yeah.
Seems to be all be going nicely for him, but
Yeah, it's difficult to see how he's going to clear these now. Look at the way he's dragged that. He's not found the gap, has he? Oh, it's just, this is sublime.
I mean, the yellow only looks like it only goes to the same bag, so he's got to.
I mean, this is why Jayson Shaw.
Is he off the red and going to the middle?
Quite possibly, yeah. This is why Jayson Shaw is so good at over in the States, because you know he's just such a great potter anyway. And you make the bags a bit bigger.
Yeah, probably never misses.
Oh,
he might be unlucky here though.
it's come now. I mean, I don't think he can be. I don't think it's possible at the moment. He's walking on water. This is incredible pull from Jayson Shaw. Some of the best I've seen for a very, very long time. He just doesn't even look close to missing. Yeah, it is absolutely. Paul just said exhibition pool. It really is. Nine frames to 1 against Gavin Robinson, who is no slouch. He won his first round match this morning. He had a tough game as well.
He was the underdog in the game, I believe.
He was. I can't remember who he played. My memory has gone to mush. Too many games and lots of commentary. So, Gav Robinson, I know he played early.
Eddie Barker.
Eddie Barker, yeah.
Beat him convincingly as well.
He did.
11-4.
Yeah. So just a quick step away from this game to look at the other scores. Max Nosko's leading Simon Fitzsimmons 4 frames to 3. Rob Warren's beating Ben Rowland 3-1. Jason Morris 2-0 up against Michael Steele. Darren Appleton's back in action. He's playing Usama Maskini. Now Usama Maskini is no slouch. I don't know Usama Maskini at all, but I know that he beat Ian Ali in the first round. So the fact he's beaten Ian Ali tells me he is no slouch. He's not travelled over from Africa to make up the numbers. So he's 2-all against Darren Appleton. How will Darren perform now the spotlight's off? Jeremy Hooper, he had a great first round win. He was the underdog against Drew Hughes. But he's trailing Declan Brennan 5 frames to 1. Phil Mallam, Adam Davis, 3 frames all. Adam Davis cruised past Yannick Bofi in his first round game, 11 frames to 2. Cole Bedford, he is playing Ian Duffy. He's 5-3 up. Playing really well, Cole. Good, solid player. Phil Naylor, Lewis Colcutt. Lewis is stretched away in that one. They were tied up at 3-all. Now it's 8 frames to 4 to Lewis. David McNamara. Well, a bit of a resurgence there from Matt Brearley. He was 6-1 down. It's now 7 frames to 4 down. And the games continue. They go on. Alex Bailey against Adam Marlowe. Adam Marlowe's 6-3 up. Rich Wharton against Ben Davis. 9 frames to 7. Rich Wharton showing a really good showing there. And a very good solid player as well. Neil Wren's through. I know somebody will be very happy because they just got a little accumulator up to take the bookie for a few quid. With that result, Rowan McCarthy 8 frames to 5 up. Brian Holcrow is leading Josh Kane 9-7, and finally that epic battle between Jordan Templeton and Zach Shepherd. The winner of that game, incidentally, well, Jordan Templeton's 10-8 up, and the winner of that game will face Jordan Shepherd at 9:30.
They'll probably catch up, though. They'll probably catch up with Jordan, though. They'll probably finish before.
I was thinking either because you've got Zach Shepherd, so it's either Zach Shepherd going to be playing Jordan Shepherd, or it's Jordan Templeton is going to be playing Jordan Shepherd. So there's going to be confusion whichever one gets through.
I think he's missed the ball. Breaking news.
Jayson just missed the ball. Well, there you go. I think we need to.
Hope for us all yet.
Yeah, that needs to be on BBC breaking news, as you say. It's surprised there's not alerts going off all over the arena.
Jayson's got his head in his hands.
He's got his head in his hands. He's absolutely disgusted with himself because he's missed one ball.
It's just damage limitation now for Gavin, just to show a bit of pride. And
he's still got that kind of wry smile on his face. Now he knows his natural instinct is to attack from here. He really wants to, but he knows this is a pressure shot. This could be his last shot. So he decided that discretion was a better part of valor, and he's played well. He tried to play a snooker. He's not made it.
I don't think he can see quite enough of it, though, can he?
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him drop this down the rail. Not in the least bit surprised. It looks easy from there, doesn't it? Really tough shot.
No. That's 2 in a row.
2 balls in a row.
Wheels are coming off.
Yeah, that's it. His head's gone. It's all Gavin's now. So, joking aside, Gavin really does need to make this score more respectable. He needs to carry momentum with him if he does indeed drop across into the loser's side.
It'll be dangerous on that side anyway. Shorter races, race to 8.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few upsets, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's finding those and taking a few quid off the bookie. Don't forget, the bookmaker is here. It's the winning post. It's Jed Ronan. If you want to bet, then go across to Players Pool Events and you'll find all of Jed's prices on there. And Jed will take bets via the PM on Facebook. It's GED Ronan.
Sigh of relief there by Gavin.
I'd love to see you all take a few quid off the bookie this weekend. He's a lovely fellow, but everyone wants to bash the bookie.
You took 20 quid off me earlier. Try and get that back tomorrow. My accumulator, actually, I only had 1 out of the 4 winners, but it was all close.
Yeah.
11-9, 11-10.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a fighting chance up to near the end.
Yep. I had 3 out of 5. I admit to betting against. I was one of the people that thought that Shane Thompson might just have too much for Jayson, and I also thought that Clint would have just too much for Darren. I knew they'd be close.
Yeah.
I thought that kind of the fact that they play the game day in, day out.
Yeah. I thought 6-4 for Appleton, though. You won't get that very often, will you?
No. And I know some people who took advantage of that as well.
Tipper for the morning. Me against Colin Finn. Lump on me. I'm a wounded animal.
What do you reckon the prices are going to be there? What do you reckon the bookie's going to put that up?
If they go by this morning's performance, they'll make Cole favourite.
Yeah.
But I do fancy it.
Yeah.
He might put us both 5 to 6, but.
So you say he's one of your mates? So you play often?
Not really. He owns the Showman's Sports Bar in Scunthorpe.
Oh, of course. Colin the Showman Finn.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
So I've known him a long time. He's a legend in our parts from the 80s and 90s, and he still mixes it with the young guns as well. So yeah, he's a very, very good player. And he gave Dave McNamara today. He should have beaten.
Yeah.
If he's all being honest. So
you fancy that tomorrow?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You're going to beat him.
Yeah.
All right. My money's on you.
Can't be any worse than this morning, so
I just need to find the odd banker to
put it up with.
Put it against.
The world rules suits Collie. He was sort of, well, he was an old rules player, obviously 15, 20 years ago, but he still plays world rules for county, so suits him better than me, but I fancy the job.
And Jayson with these last 3 balls to put himself on the hill. And he's made fairly quick work of this. Neither of them have hung about. Probably been playing for about 45 minutes for the 11 frames. Well, just about to conclude the 12th. Okay, so he just needs to be careful. He just needs to navigate the traffic. And just a touch of luck, yeah. But when it's going your way, on the days it's not, that one just goes the other way and you have no shot.
He's got a very compact cue action, hasn't he?
He really does. When you compare it to Chris Melling, who's got that flamboyant backswing, that lovely flourish, and the pause at the back, which is almost, you know, it's kind of set as the benchmark for a cue action, that one. You know, that kind of Stephen Lee action.
Yeah.
But there's so many effective cue actions. I think Jayson's probably adapted his over the last few years. I'll bet if you watch the video back of him winning the 2010 World Championship, I bet his cue action was nothing like it is now. He'll have adapted it for the American game. He seems to play slightly more hunched up, almost like you say. It is very compact. He's kind of got his elbows tucked in.
Very effective, though.
Yeah, it certainly has been. It's been a pleasure to watch.
Very good break, but again, the position he's in, he don't need any balls covered by another. He could do with a few easy run-outs.
Immediately opting for reds. So, a couple of awkward ones, and already he's in a bit of a pickle.
Do you think another player more adapt with the world rules, if they was playing Jayson in that sort of form, might have tried to slow him down? Or do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Someone like Adam Davis, he'd definitely be slowing things down, just making grinding the frames out a bit, just to try and take the momentum out of Jayson. He's had the momentum throughout this, and you had to try and take the wind out of his sails. But Gavin doesn't really have that B game in world rules.
Yeah.
So
it's a foul snooker, isn't it? So he should be able to move the white, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he's asking the rules. He doesn't. I'm quite sure. So Jayson doesn't understand that he needs to ask for a foul snooker. The referee can't tell him.
I see.
So the referee's asking Gavin if he's allowed to tell him. So Jayson doesn't understand that ruling. He said, surely that's a free ball. Well, that's not what you've got to say, Jayson. You've got to ask for a foul snooker.
I'm not sure if he's
But I'm sure
told yet.
I'm sure someone will tell him. Yeah, but the referee can't tell him, and Jason's not asked. No one can tell him he's asking Gareth Potts now. So Gareth Potts is just saying to the ref that it's Jayson's interpretation of the rule. Jayson doesn't know what he needs to ask for, and of course Gareth can't tell him. So it's really difficult because Jayson's saying, "Can I put your cue ball up?" And the referee's saying, "No, you can't," because he can't tell him. Jayson just needs to say, "Is it a foul snooker?"
And I don't, maybe Gavin don't know himself.
So Jayson's asking Gavin now, and yeah. So we've got there eventually.
Yeah. I think he'll know for next time.
He will. Someone will tell him straight afterwards that you just have to ask. And I think Gav said to him that you know, you can lift it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's, I don't think Gavin was doing anything other than, it certainly wasn't bad sportsmanship. But you know, Jayson should know the rules. He's entered the event, so he should be okay with them. But yeah, at no point did he say foul snooker, and the ref would have said yes, and he said, "Can I pick up the ball?" "Yes, you can."
Yeah. It was quite hard to watch that, really.
It really was, yeah. It's difficult because everyone's in a difficult position because the referee knows the rule, but he can't tell Jayson. If Jayson had asked him, but he doesn't know what to ask, that's the problem. So the referee can't just tell him. Gaz Potts obviously can't tell him either from the sidelines.
Oh,
He's even had a touch there, really.
Yeah. It's a bit easier than that black he nailed earlier.
That's fabulous. Really is. So this black in the middle to.
I'd like to have gone a bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. But even so, that's a great win. Sublime pull from Jayson Shaw. Just a bit of confusion at the end, and smiles all round. Gavin just never really got into that one. But to be fair, Jayson never really let him either. So Jayson just asking what the deal is now, and I'm sure that it'll be explained to him, and he'll know for the future.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure, Gabe. Thanks very much for stepping in on commentary.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Against Colin.
Yeah, I've got about 10 rounds to get through to the quarters. So
Indeed, yeah. We're going to go across to the studio in just a couple of minutes. Jayson Shaw's going to be in there getting interviewed by Lee Kendall when Gavin's finished explaining to him the rules. So stick around for that. Also on the other table, Ronan McCarthy against Dylan Leary. Ronan's 9-5 up, so you can watch that stream. And also there's 2 other streams in progress. So I believe we will be back with a game from the 9:30 round. I'm not sure what that game is yet. Do we know what the game is for the next round? No, I don't think we do. I'm not sure where it's going to come from. We shall see. Anyway, just waiting an extra minute or so to hand over. Lee's just talking to the ref about the situation that just happened. Jayson's chatting in the corner, and people are explaining the ruling to him. So as we say, he'll know for next time. You can see the scores from around the arena. Brian Halcrow is grinding that one out. He's 10-8 up against Josh Kane. Ben Davis 10-8 up against Rich Wharton. We just mentioned the Ronan McCarthy game. That's across on table number 3. Liam Dunstan's just taken the table against Bash Maqsood. So that one's just about to start. Darren Appleton leading 5 games to 3 against Usama Maskini. Jeremy Hooper 6-2 down against Declan Brennan. And we're going to shoot across to the studio momentarily, where you will hear Jayson Shaw and Lee Kendall. I can see them at the moment in the studio where Lee's still explaining the rules to him. And they look ready for us, and we'll be back for you with a live game pretty shortly.
Well, Jace, that was a good win again, good performance. Bit of controversy at the end.
Yeah, just you know, the rules, obviously there's a few different rules in the world rules, so just trying to just get my head around it a little bit, and there at the end sort of like caught me out. He played a foul. Well, he didn't play a foul, he potted his ball and then potted one of my balls, and then I couldn't see my object ball, so I was asking, was it a free ball basically? Yeah. And I wasn't too sure if I could pick the white up or not. I was trying to think back to what I did in the last couple of days leading up to coming here. But I sort of got confused, and then I think Gavin sort of like, he knew what I was asking, but I think I asked it wrong.
I think you asked it wrong to a certain degree, but the interpretation was still the same. You were asking for a foul snooker.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Foul snooker, obviously it's different for us. We like saying free ball or, you know, total snooker.
Under ref language, they might say, well, you've got to say it a certain way. I think you asked the right question in the good of the game, where you've gone, is it a foul snooker? And you said, is it a free ball? It's the same thing for me.
Same thing for me too, yeah.
But the referee was in a sort of position...
Yeah, he wasn't too sure. He was like, well, you didn't ask that. And I'm like, well, I sort of meant the same thing. It means, you know, and then obviously it got fixed. But I had a feeling I could pick the white up if I was total snooker, but if it's the opposite way, you can't do it. You can't pick the white up, I think.
Yeah, if you're not foul snooker, you can't pick the white up. So I think Gav told you could pick the white up.
Well, I said to Gav, I'm sure I can pick the white up. And he says, you can pick the white up. And I said, okay, let's go.
I think where the referee was a bit worried, under the world rules, you can't coach as a referee.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
But what Gav did was he told you the answer anyway.
Yeah, he told me.
So the fact that he's told you, the ref should just say, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, the ref did. It was just one of those sort of things, but obviously Gav was nice enough to tell me and let me sort of close the match out. So
you better get him a beer now, then.
Yeah, I'll get him a couple.
But no, you played well apart from that.
Yeah, mate, I broke really well. So there's a couple of ones I didn't hit too full in that, but other than that, I took some great finishes out. Feel like I'm starting to get that little feel back, you know, little touchy shots. I played a lot of good shots where I was spinning balls in a couple of cushions, and played a couple of good tricky shots to get in little gaps and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm getting the adjustment to the table and the feel of the balls again.
Yeah, you definitely look like you got the cue ball under control, where Darren a bit earlier sort of lost it a few times, where for the small pot I saw you had it.
Yeah, you just got to try and, you know, it's like playing snooker a little bit, you know, punching and stunning instead of trying to play the cue ball off 2 or 3 rules. That's when we're going to get lost, so just try and keep it as simple as possible, you know, and if it's tough then you've got to have a go.
Yeah, well, you played well.
Yeah,
you won your second match and you're through to tomorrow now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a big day. There'll be a lot of good matches again.
Okay, well, best of luck.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate. And the next match-up will be Mike King versus Mark Farnsworth at maybe a little bit before 10:30. It's scheduled for 10:30, but if we can get it on sooner, we will do.
Sorted, mate.